Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. So we are studying Sadhana Panchakam, the first verse. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam Taduditam Karmaswanushthiyatam Tena Ishasya Vidhiyatam Apachitihi Kamye Matischajyatam Papaukha Paridhuyatam Bhavasuke Doshonusandhiyatam Atmecha Vyavasiyatam Nijagruhat Turnam Vinirgamyatam. So in these 8 values which are mentioned in the first verse of Sadhana Panchakam, we saw first 4 of them. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam Taduditam Karmaswanushthiyatam Tena Ishasya Vidhiyatam Apachitihi Kamye Matischajyatam. 4 things we saw. Now, 5th one is Papauga Paridhuyatam. You know, Oga means heap. A heap. Hordes of sins. Heap of sins. Papauga. Paap ka dera. So many sins are accumulated. Paridhuyatam, meaning they are to be completely washed. So instruction is what? Wash away hordes of the sin from one's own bosom. That's the meaning. So papaugha paridhuyatam. Now friends, you know, Papa and Punya. Papa is sin, Punya is merit. We all have mixture of these two, merits and sins. Then only we get Manushya Janma. It is said in Manushya Janma, both Papa and Punya are mixed, most same. Then we get Manushya Janma. If punyas are plenty, more, then we go to higher lokas. But kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Having that punya is exhausted, merits are exhausted, we come back to again this world. If papa is more, we go to nether regions, lower yonis, or lower levels of existence. Now, the instruction is what? Papokha paridhuyatam. Wash away all the sins that are in one's own bosom, heart. Now see, eventually we have to give up punya and papa. Both are to be renounced. That's what Upanishads and in all the scriptures, they're very clearly mentioned. But to wash the sins, one method is what? Keep on doing punya karma, meritorious deeds. How to wash this? Now, what is sin, first of all? Sin is, as masters have said always, it is in reaction to what we come across, what we perceive in the world outside. When we react, meaning when we act the way which is not supposed to be done by us, the way we are not supposed to act, if we act in that way, it is called a sin. So appropriate action is dharma, and inappropriate action is adharma or papa. Moment to moment, I am talking about. Now, when we say sin, what is happening is that when we act in this world inappropriately, meaning what? Inappropriately means what? Adharmically, meaning with adharma, meaning what we are not supposed to do, think, etc., or say, kaya, vacha, manasa, through body and vacha, speech, and manasa, thought. If we behave the way we are not supposed to behave, it is a sin. See, when we act selfishly, either identified with the body, or identified with the mind, or identified with the intent, when intentions are impure, when our intentions are impure, meaning they are not pure, then what happens? All those activities, whether through body, speech, or thought, all those activities, they leave in our bosom a deep impression called vasana, or a tendency to repeat. So, when these vasanas or tendencies are formed in the deep within, when we are not following dharma and we do inappropriate things. Again, I repeat, through kaya, vacha, manasa, through body, speech, and mind. Then, the tendency which is created in us to repeat that action again and again, that is called vasana. And that is a sin. And which binds me, number one, which makes me more and more impure at the mental level mainly. And because of those sinful activities, not only I, the performer or the doer, suffer, I also give certain amount of a degree of suffering to the people around me because of my inappropriate actions performed either through body, speech, or mind. Think. So, this Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, one has to wash away these hordes of sins. Again, coming down to back to the important point, how to get rid of these sins or vasanas. Now, all these karmas in the form of vasanas, the root, the seeds, they are all burnt, as Bhagavan Krishna says, in the fire of knowledge. Jnanagni dagdha karmanam. So, in the fire of knowledge, all the sins are burnt. So, if we go little deeper into it, the origin of all sins, in a way is the main karanam is our identification with the physical body. When I identify with the physical body, then I am separated from everybody else, number one. So others are different from me, I am different from them. I am special, I want to be happy at the cost of others. And because of my identification with the body demands many things. Sharira sukham. So then I run after them. Then the mind also. To make my mind happy, to make my intellect happy, with their soul all wrong thoughts and wrong notions. All put together, what happens is that when these vasanas are deeply created, they become sins. Think. So how to wash them? First of all is knowledge, meaning by the Vedanta says body identification is the first sin. And why do we identify with the body? Because of avidya. Go back. Again, Mola Karanam for everything is avidya only. Ignorance, spiritual ignorance. Not worldly ignorance of certain things, how to do, how not to do, how to cook food, how to go there. That is required. Yeah, that ignorance has to be removed for transactional purposes. That's required. How to operate a computer, I must know so that to live life. That's okay. If I am connected to that kind of a lifestyle. Wonderful. But spiritual ignorance is, avidya is the karanam for all kinds of sin that we commit. So now, what is the antidote for that? Antidote for that is a deep conviction by the grace of the Master that we are essentially divine. Amrutasya putraha, Upanishad says. So, Srunvantu, please listen, O Amrutasya putraha, children of immortality. So, I must get convinced, essentially, I am the pure consciousness. I am full, Satchidananda Sarupaha. So, the more and more I dwell upon the Upanishadic teachings, more and more I contemplate on the teachings. So, eventually, when vasanas are reduced, vasanas are exhausted by karma yoga, again, fundamental karma yoga. So, when I perform my duties alone, number one, I will not perform, or I will try to be away from all those activities which do not fall under the category of my dharma, that is second two. So, one, why should dharma, anushtanam, and adharma, nivrittihi, and completely withdrawn from adharmic activities, performing dharmic activities, and also along with that, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, when we do, slowly and steadily, these sins will get reduced. So, a spiritual seeker focus must be how to reduce these sins or vasanas, because they are the bija, seeds, which make us commit sin. Arjuna asked, Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichinnapi varshnaya baladiva niyojitaha. What is that prompted by which, O Bhagavan, a man commits sins? Baladiva anichinnapi. I don't want to commit, but as though my head is bent by force and I was made to commit I was made to commit a mistake or a sin. I was made to commit a blunder. I was made to make a mistake. Sin, papa acharanam. Why? What is the purpose? There Bhagavan Krishna says, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Mahashana mahapapma vidhyena mihavayiranam. So, this rajoguna gives birth to desire. That is krodha, kama and krodha. Both are same in one to two sides of the same coin. So, desire and anger. These two are the fundamental. So, we all commit mistakes, or crime is committed either under the spell of desire or under the spell of anger. And these two give rise to other things, moha, lobha, moha, matsarya, mada, etc. So, what we have to do is, we must clean our vasanas by our selfless activities in the world outside, and again gaining that Upanishadic knowledge and contemplating upon it, and slowly reducing our reactionary lifestyle and increasing our selfless activities, and maintaining an attitude of that, let everybody be happy, let everyone progress spiritually, and everyone be transformed first from bad person to a good person, and then that let the goodness in everybody give them joy. That kind of prayers, and if we can lead such kind of a lifestyle, slowly our sins will get reduced. And sins actually are a thickest layer, which is an obstacle, between me and the Paramatma, the Maya wheel, the obstacle. So, papauha paridhuyatam. And sixth one is bhavasuke doshonusandhiyatam. This is another beautiful thing. Bhavasuke doshaha anusandhiyatam. Now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is asking us to think about it. He is making a fact, a clear, loud, he is making an announcement of the fact and making a loud announcement that please understand bhavasukham, meaning in the worldly pleasures, in all the worldly sukham, there is something called dosha. Fault is stapled. With every sukham that we get in this world, a dukkham is stapled with it. Or dukkham follows, anusandhiyata, riddled with the pain. So all the pleasures of this world are riddled with the pain. This awakening is required. Understanding is required. This awareness is required. What is the value? Recognize that all the worldly pleasures are riddled with pain. This is the fact. And we need not go to any textbook to understand, but just Guru shows a torchlight, light on our own experience. When he shows a light on our own experiences and tells us, oh, please look into your own experiences. Look, analyze your own experiences. Then you came to conclusion. Pariksha lokan karmachita. You examine your own experiences. Then we will understand this. We may be going through that, but unless Guru tells me, unless Upanishad tells us, my attention did not go towards this fact. What is that fact? The fact is, every joy that I get from this world is riddled with pain, stapled with pain, followed by pain. That's the fact. Think Lord Buddha also said same thing. The worldly, fundamentally there is in samsara, there's a lot of dukkham is there. Okay. Now, how does every sukham is attached with the pain? First of all, that which creates a come in space actually, then a mental pleasantness experience that which creates in the mind is called sukham for me. And this is also correct. Sukham is relative. It is not absolute. In worldly, sukham is not absolute. It is relative. Because that which gives you happiness may not give me happiness. That which gives me happiness may not give you happiness. So all of us have our own sources of joy and sorrows. Something which gives you happiness may not give me. Something which gives me happiness, it may give you sorrow to you. So first of all, that we have seen in the beginning that all of us are what we all want. We all want uninterrupted joy, happiness, sukham. So niravadika sukha prapti, atyantika dukkha nivritti. Constant sukham I want, and I don't want any trace of sorrow in my life. That is the fundamental agenda. So, but that agenda is triggered by what? By my vasanas. So vasanas dictate to me. According to my vasanas, I search in those places for the joy, and I run away from those places which gives me sorrow. But they are relative because they are seen through goggles of vasanas. That's why everything is relative. Somebody for spirituality, oh my God, I don't want spiritual life at all. It is too much horrible. It is just, I don't know what they discuss, what they think. I'm a simple man. I want to earn, enjoy, be merry. So for some people, even coming to a temple or sitting in a satsang is a maha narakam for them. But they are very comfortable in other places. So for somebody, satsang is so comfortable. For satsang is comfortable. Now, so sukham, first of all, it's relative, number one. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to create a an environment in the mind which makes me happy, feel happy. So thoughts are generated. So those thoughts are to be substituted or subsided. When they do that, then I become very, very peaceful in the mind. Then that gives me a great joy. That is the fact about life, right? Now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, he is asking us to realize for every sukham there is a pain. Now, why? Because, first of all, in order to get worldly joy, it's not that easy. Why? Because there must be desire first for sukha prapti. Whatever I feel, sukham is there, so I must desire that sukham. Otherwise, it won't come to me. After desire, I must put effort. Strategy is required, planning is required. Then effort has to be put. So desire is there, then planning is there, how to achieve it. Then I have to put efforts. After putting my efforts, I may get result as expected or may not, or sometimes more than expectation or less than expectation. But majority of times, we may get what we want or may not get some typical whatever, but we get some result. But then that result we get so little sukham, right? The moment we get sukham, and the sukham, each sukham will bring its own share of sorrows. Why? Because every sukham has a tendency to make me get addicted to it. Number one. And every sukham is diminishing in time. It diminishes in time. That sukham diminishes. When sukham is diminishing in time, sorrow increases. See? So sukham diminishes in time. And moreover, while even I am experiencing that sukham, there is a sorrow that in the form of a fear that this will come to an end soon. I am experiencing happiness now, but this will come to an end soon. Think. That worry always haunts me, subconsciously or consciously. The other worry about Anandam, Sukham. Now, and once I get Sukham also, it also may trigger not only to put an effort again to get it again, because it makes me addicted, it also has a tendency to compare, to make me compare with others' Sukham. When I compare with others' Sukham, then I will again get disappointed because there are so many people who are more happier and merrier than me in my life. In Chidrupananda comes, happiness, various stages are there. So, I got one house, but other one got a 5-bedroom house and I got only 3-bedroom house. When this comparison comes, a worldly man, worldly happiness. And this comparison makes one more sorrowful. Again, to eradicate that sorrow, either he will put his efforts to take another flat of 5-bedroom, or feel continuously jealous about that person. And then that also, the jealousy and the restlessness and unhappiness is sorrow only. So, sukham, to get sukham, there is a pain of self-effort. While enjoying, there is a fear of losing it. It will end in time, diminishes in time. After that, again, I have to put effort. I am not happy. I came back to square one. I lost it. So, therefore, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says that, in our life, every sukham is riddled with pain. No sukham is full. Yayati example we come across. He had taken that yavvana, that youthfulness from his sons, but yet he was not happy. Then he realized in the end that by fulfilling desires, they will never come to an end. It's like pouring ghee into the fire. So he realized a statement he gave, the desires are, sublimated, not by enjoying, not by bhoga, only by withdrawing or by developing vairagya under the light of this knowledge. of Vedanta, of Upanishadic knowledge, of philosophical knowledge. So therefore, Bhagavan Krishna has very clearly said, Bhava Sukhe Doshaha Anusandhiyata. So please see that the inherent, therefore, one example I'll give you. It's like somebody gone to Naraka. So in Naraka Loka, he had done a lot of sins. So there the Yamaraj prescribed that, okay, he will be given these punishments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 types of punishments he has to undergo. So in the beginning, to get accustomed to acclimatization, to that kind of hellish environment and treatment that what they give to acclimatize the person there, papi, sinner there. What he did, he said, okay, begin with 100 whipping. So 100 whippings. So he was made to stand, and there are Yamadutas are there, Bhatus, and then they took huge whipping, and they started, one started whipping him, 1, 2. So when you say 100 means what? There's a count, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means what? The first whipping, second whipping, third whipping, that way. So in between 2 whippings, there's a gap, right? So when the lash, when the entire thing, it just falls on his back, and he screams in great pain. Whenever the rope or whatever touches him, and when he gets pain, and the hand is taken away for the second lash, and again second lash, in between first and second lash, the absence of dukkham is considered as sukham by that person in the Naraka. He feels happy, relaxed. Again second lash. Again he screams in pain. Again for a moment, for a few seconds he is happy. Again. So that means what? So is he really happy? No, that happiness is defined as what? Absence of dukkham is considered as happiness. Similarly, in our lives also, is our happiness positive, or is it actually an absence of sorrow? Temporarily, certain kinds of sorrows are absent, and therefore I feel I am happy. Is it positive, or absence of sorrow is considered as happiness? Each one of us have to analyze for oneself. So between 2 sorrows that we receive in a plate, served in a plate, between 2 sorrows, the gap is considered as happiness by me. There's a pleasure. Swami Chinmayananji and all great masters have said that we don't deny. Vedanta also doesn't deny that there is a pleasure in these world objects. Worldly objects, there's a pleasure in that. There's a beauty pleasure is there. That tatkalika sukham. So temporary pleasure is there, but not happiness. The pleasure is that which only is a contact between sense organs and the object. That's called pleasure. But Gita Bhagavad speaks about it. When indriyas come in contact with sense objects, they give you either sukham or dukkham. Think. So, this is a contact in sense organs and sense objects. That experience may give me happiness or may give me sorrow. Okay. So when it is giving me sorrow, I'll withdraw and I'll try to search some other better contact with the objects of the world outside, so that I can be happy, I can get happiness. So in a way, all of us are living in a trial and error method. I feel I'll be happy by doing this. But after some time, I found that, this is not giving me happiness, because happiness is also diminishing. Again, I search for other happiness. So overall in our life, we are constantly, a sort of trough is maintained. That a kind of, unhappiness, unpleasantness. So we are constantly searching for happiness. In the bargain, we are getting only sorrow. Because we lose many things. Losing itself is sorrow. Objects we lose, people we lose, whom we love, they die. Or I may die, leaving all of them. So, therefore, Bhagavan Krishna said, Dukkha samyoga viyogam yogam uchyate. Dukkha samyogam viyogam yogam uchyate. Already now we are yoked or one became one with dukkham and experiencing. So withdrawing from dukkham is yoga. So attaching ourselves to higher principles, higher goals, understanding. So how do we come out of this dukkham? Only by understanding, by realizing that this is the nature of the world. This is the nature of the world. What is the nature of the world? That everything comes and goes. Nothing stays. So I will not try to, my attempt is what? To make happiness, hug happiness and make it permanent. I want an attempt in that. I attempt that way, but it doesn't. It just goes away. I don't want sorrow. So when the whole life is there, we are running after happiness and happiness is running away from us. And then we are running after happiness and happiness is running away. And we are running away from the sorrows and sorrows are running towards us. Therefore, Chinmayananji says so beautifully, the tragedy of a modern man is decreasing happiness in the midst of increasing comforts. Tragedy of a modern man is decreasing happiness in the midst of increasing comforts. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is very clearly said, these joys or pleasures are so fleeting. They just come and go. And they leave a trace of great sorrow in our bosom. And therefore understand, this is the world. So they create more agitations, more desires in me. A struggle is there in me. So therefore, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, you realize this, that bhavasuke dosho anusandhayata. But how to come out of it? How to? The next value, Bhagavan Shankaracharya speaks about it, that we will see in next class. These are all short classes. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om.